When I was coming up, I played a lot of classical music as a kid, and then I got into jazz around 12 or 13. And kind of went deep into jazz. I loved Herbie Hancock and Keith Jarrett and Bill Evans, and learned a ton of standards and studied the tradition of bebop, getting deep into Bud Powell's music and Thelonious Monk. And at a certain point, there were certain things I felt like that didn't serve me personally, or I was struggling with certain elements of jazz that maybe like culturally there was some kind of disconnect, or I don't know. So one example is like playing at a fast tempo. I could just never play at a fast tempo. And I would always ask like the great jazz people who I had master classes with, like, how do I do this? Like, what can I do? And, Joe Lovano would say, like, play the bigger, like, think about the bigger beat. So this idea of polytempo kind of came up when I was listening to the composer Nan Carroll. So he writes a lot of music in polytempo. And when I heard that, I was like, something clicked. I was like, oh, I can just choose whatever tempo I want and play over this really fast burning tune. And so that kind of answered the question for me. So if I think about the piano outside of harmony, and I just think about it more about just dealing in timbre and density, that totally frees things up in a way. To not think about the root up, that we're, what is the name of this chord? How does it function as the root? So in a free context, I play a lot of free, or used to play a lot of free improvised music. When you play a chord like that, it just opens things up for everybody to be part of the conversation of developing the harmony. So you just have to tap into, like, what is the essence of the thing that really connects to the band and to the audience? And, and I've had people write me like a year or two later and say, like, I thought about that concert for years and now, like, I get it, So it's a process, it's a journey, and you just have to be willing to put yourself out there, to be a risk taker.